Uh-oh.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home and podcast time.
Well, that's right. Binford Tools is proud to present a home improvement podcast. My name is Adam. You'll know my co-host, Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Adam, I think we should just get into it. Tell me about fall.
Actually, before I get into fall, I wanted to make an announcement that in the same vein as Burger King and today McDonald's with their PLT, this is the first ever meatless episode of Home and Podcast.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
I mean, that's going to be no meat the whole episode, so it's good for all you vegans out there. Usually we get into sausages and hamburgers and bacon, but today we're only talking about plant-based meat, so hopefully you guys are on board.
The world will be a happier place because of it, but we might be angrier or hangrier.
I mean, it's going to be hard not talking about sausages for how long is this show? 60 minutes? I mean, we're going to have to try.
I mean, as long as I've known you, every 5 minutes you mention sausages, so.
It's I like Stephen King and sausages, so it's hard to not talk about those things when you're around me. But, the consumer wants meatless products, so,
Disney World is offering more plant-based options as well, so it's everywhere in the news right now.
Yeah, and we and Disney is a sponsor, so in conjunction with them, we had to make this meatless. So
they would be a natural sponsor, but they don't like us. So
if you like our meatless episodes, just go ahead and let us know on Twitter or via iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review and say, "I love the meatless eps, baby." And that's how we'll know. All right, what do you want to talk about? Man, that was a great bit I just had.
It sure
just
was.
Thought of it.
Well,
wow.
I mean, can we talk about fall after that? I don't think we can.
Let's say I want to build up the fall excitement. So we're going to talk about fall.
You're going to wait
Jordan.
to talk about fall until it's winter.
Yeah, don't worry about that, palsy.
I'm just sick of getting a text every morning with like a different colored fall leaf, and then you don't talk about it on the podcast.
Okay, so here's the thing. We put up our Halloween stuff yesterday.
Okay.
Because fall started on Monday, so, you got to get the most out of it. But I want to sit with our Halloween decorations and the season another week so I can really...
ruminate on it?
Yeah, just like ruminate and really be ready to express how I'm feeling. But I got to say right now, it's a breezy, cool fall day. Got the Halloween decorations up, and things are good. But with another week, I can really dive in deeper. So,
all right.
Yeah, Jordan, go ahead and put that on your date book for next week. I'm going to riff on fall.
I'll put it in my Google Calendar right now.
Also, another problem with riffing on fall today, this is a meatless episode. Sometimes during, fall, you associate with Thanksgiving and stuff, and I wouldn't really be able to talk about a turkey today. So.
Good gracious. All right, so we can't talk about fall, but we both have two stupid articles/videos.
Yeah, hey, you're selling it. Yeah, way to sell it.
I mean, we've talked about this before. Whenever you're looking for home improvement, Tim Allen-related stuff nowadays, it's typically a struggle, but we have both found something that it might be the same thing. We haven't shared what it is. It's kind of going to be a surprise for both of us, and I think the audience... they can usually enjoy our surprise as much as, if we're not surprised. So here we go. What do you have? What do you have that you said you have a video? I want to know what it's about and share it with the world.
First, I want to say, hey, listeners, grab your lures because this is an edition of clickbait. All right.
We're going fishing.
Yep, okay.
For some clicks.
So this is a video. It's called Dark Secrets the Cast of Home Improvement Tried to Hide.
That is not the same one I have.
Okay.
I want to know these dark secrets.
Okay, I have all
divulge them, please.
All right, so here's the 7. How about after each one, you give me a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being pretty bright and 10 being very dark, on just kind of rating these secrets. So,
all right.
How salacious are they? Is what I want to know.
So, 10.
Mind you, this video has 1.4 million views and is total trash.
Unbelievable.
All right. First one. Jordan, brace yourself for this, okay?
All right, I'm sitting down.
Are you holding any coffee? You don't drink coffee. Are you holding any Surge or Mountain Dew?
I'm holding my new business cards. How do you like that? They're right next to me.
As long as you're not holding your daughter. Okay. All right, here we go. Jordan, did you know that Tim Allen, he went to prison? Whoa!
I'm giving that a 1
Wow.
because if you don't know that, that's ridiculous.
That is dark.
We should start making some of these videos on YouTube.
I kind of think. Let's talk about this after the show because we should. Long story short, yes, we should, and we should talk about that later on because I feel like that is this one's horrible. This is horrible.
1.4 million views. Ugh.
All right, here we go. Second one. Tim, Jordan, also make sure you're not holding anything for this one.
Okay.
Tim was unhappy when Jonathan Taylor Thomas left the show. Oh, guys. I feel a little dirty just sharing that with you guys. It feels so dark.
I give that one a negative.
Okay. All right. Okay. 3. Patricia Richardson, she turned down $25 million because she didn't want it to go to a 9th season.
Whoa.
And Tim said he wouldn't do the show without her, and he turned down $50 million.
Holy. You gonna keep going?
And I'm not done. And Richard Karn says, Tim might regret it.
Wow. Did the lights just go out where you are too?
I did some inflation stuff. $50 million in 1998 is like $78 million now for one season. Probably should have kept making that TV show, guys. I mean, I don't know.
There's got to be some more ideas out there. I mean, we came up with a reboot pilot, so there's stuff out there.
Yeah. All right, so was that pretty good for you?
I mean, I told you the lights went out here.
Okay, so it's like a 10 then? Or what?
Super dark.
Okay, all right. 4, Stardom Happens, the book Mark's mom wrote.
I can't believe this is in here.
Yeah, well, it's not even... I don't really remember why they brought it up, but Mark and his mom, they had a falling out, and he ran away in 2001 and had legal battles over his $1.5 million estate.
Dun, dun, dun. You know what?
Oh my gosh, a car just crashed in front of my house because they heard me say that. Wow.
I would say that one's the first one I haven't heard of.
I didn't know he ran away. Also, we should preface this. I have no idea if these are true or not. I don't know if he ran. There's no way to know.
We don't fact check.
Some of these are definitely true. Some, that one might not be true. So, take that as you will. All right, 5. This is going to be a new one for you, unless you know things I didn't know. All right. Zachary Ty Bryan. He sued his business partners in the early to mid 2000. No, I don't actually know the year. Sometime in the past.
Now you're making your own stuff up.
Sued his business partners for pilfering money away from a Hollywood sports bar they owned together.
Wow. Okay, that one I did not know as well. Not that dark. These aren't dark. What do you mean
These aren't
dark?
dark. That's not embarrassing. I don't know.
This is very strange.
Clickbait.
Yeah,
clickbait.
I guess so. That's right.
Okay. Jordan, this is probably the worst one.
Okay. How many more are there?
2 more. All right,
right.
we'll go faster. Dark secret number 6. Hey, Jordan, ever notice Home Improvement? It's kind of a lot like Last Man Standing.
That's a dark secret.
That's legitimately one of them. Yeah.
Oh boy. What are the graphics like on this video? Are they as bad as the facts?
No, it looks okay.
Okay.
That's probably its saving grace. And 7, Jordan. Brace yourself for this one. A Home Improvement reunion / reboot. It might happen. Whoa!
Is that a solar eclipse?
My nose bleeding. Oh, my nose just started bleeding randomly. So those are all really freaking dark secrets. Sorry to ruin the show for all you fans because I know those secrets were so dark.
It's a good thing we've warned our fans the last few episodes that we're not bleeping out curse words or anything. It's getting a little more R-rated because you couldn't have read that watched that video and talked about it about a month ago.
I know, and also, sorry for not giving a trigger warning, but tough stuff. But also, hey, I didn't mention any meat, so gotta give me that. Meatless episode.
Shout out to you for that one.
Plant-based home podcast.
You did say something about a sports bar.
Yeah, but I didn't say they were serving meat.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to make sure you cover all your bases here. All right, my article. Incredibly different, much shorter, and in light of all of that darkness, will hopefully brighten your day.
It's okay that it's shorter because, yeah, that's fine. I'm glad to hear that, actually.
All right, so I finally found a way that we might get noticed by Tim Allen if we replicate what this guy's doing.
Okay.
All right. The headline I will read, it makes it sound like he's successful. At least that's what I thought, but the jury's still out, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But the article title, this is on, it's like a local news for Tucson, Arizona. So KGun9.
With you so far?
Yep. All right. Man grunts is in quotation marks, like Tim Allen every day until the actor notices him. Does that make you think that he was already noticed or not noticed?
It makes me think that Tim Allen has noticed him.
Yeah, it turns out it is not. But
there is this. Get your lures. I didn't say what we were fishing for because this is a meatless episode.
This is meatless. We're just having fun. We're bobbing for apples. Mm-hmm. How about that?
Save it for next week, okay?
I'm just gonna read you the opening of this article. It's hilarious. Many of us are dedicated to our family, friends, and even our jobs, but it takes real devotion to get the attention of someone famous. Since 2017, YouTube user Maximum Malcolm, what a name, has been uploading a video of himself grunting like Tim Allen's character in the 90s sitcom Home Improvement. So ostensibly, this guy has been uploading a 2 to 4 second video. Every single day for
how
like
long?
900 days or something crazy.
I mean, we've been doing this podcast for like 4 years, so I'm not gonna give him that much credit. Way less time than recording an episode. But
so he has not gotten the attention of Tim Allen yet, but he's gonna keep going. They do say that if you compile all of his videos together, it'd be at least an hour of grunting. So there's that as well.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't say this as like a bad thing, even though it sounds bad. I don't think Tim Allen cares a ton about his fan base. Like, I don't think he's exceedingly interested in connecting with fans. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it's not like he's like the Karn Man is on Twitter, interacting with people. That's not Tim's MO.
I mean, Tim's like on social media and stuff, but like, I don't.
He uses it as a one-way street.
Yeah, for sure. I don't get the feeling that he's real interested in any kind of a back and forth, which is
so
fine.
You're saying Maximum's gonna have some problem?
I'm saying he's in for maximum pain. Eventually.
Maximum Malcolm, yeah. They do have a link to his YouTube channel, which I haven't gone to yet, but I'm going to open it right now.
Okay.
I'm not going to subscribe.
I guarantee he has more subscribers than us.
Yeah. 3,920.
Man, we got to, this is off-air stuff, but we got to do some stuff on YouTube, I guess, because some real garbage is getting hits on there.
Practically every video that he's uploaded is just the grunts, so that's kind of his staple. But
I got an idea. Let's grunt twice a day. That's 2 times better.
Or if we're just both grunting in the video, that's 2 grunts, right?
Whoa, awesome.
Amplify our gruntage.
Mm-hmm. Maximum gruntage.
All right, so that is a terrible article. I can't believe it's on the internet.
I think yours was worse than mine. Which was funny because when you said you had something too, I thought, well, there's no way it's worse than what I have, but I guess it was.
Turns out, local Tucson news seems pretty uninteresting.
Gotta be honest, makes me not want to go to Arizona very much.
Too bad. Yeah. All right, well, what do you think we should do instead of going to Arizona? You want to talk about an episode?
Yeah, okay.
All right, episode 149 is The Feminine Mistake. This one was written by Gelman.
Gelman! What are you doing? It's me!
Lori Gelman.
Gelman, you nuts! Who wants to be a millionaire?
I hope she writes every other episode for the rest of the series, because that
Gelman, you're a psychopath! Get over here!
Did you ever watch Regis and Kelly, or Regis and Kathy Lee?
Yeah, that's how I know how to do the impression.
Well, I thought that was just kind of in the zeitgeist.
My parents really liked Regis and Kathy Lee. I don't know. I've kind of soured on Kelly, personally.
Yeah, my mom also loved the show. I liked it when Regis was on it. I thought it was good. I don't know about Strahan.
Regis is a king. Kelly and Regis, okay. Kelly and Michael, that was weird. Now it's Kelly and Ryan Seacrest, and I am very uninterested
You're
in that.
Seacrest out.
I mean, shouldn't we all be kind of Seacrest out? I don't know.
All right, well, this Gelman, not that Gelman, last wrote My Son the Driver.
It was all right, yeah. Actually, I liked it. I liked it.
2 episodes ago,
yeah.
Something like that. All right. This one aired May 6th, 1990s.
Gelman is a man or woman? I'm sorry.
Lori Gelman.
Lori Gelman. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, because this is a female-centric episode. So
sure. May 6, 1997. Title reference: The Feminine Mystique. Very popular work by Betty Friedman.
Jordan.
So popular,
Jordan,
I don't even know.
Jordan, you silly boy. Belly. Correct. Betty Friedan.
Friedan. Okay.
Yeah, this book.
Very popular. I haven't read it, though.
It sparked the second wave of feminism in the U.S. in 1963. And I think this episode started the third wave.
The third? Yeah, at least. Third and fourth.
Unlikely. Man, I'm excited to talk about feminism. Two men. Great.
It's perfect.
It's just what people want.
We didn't even get a woman guest. We weren't even going to try.
In our defense, I didn't know that this was going to be the topic until yesterday. Well, good thing for us is it's half feminism, half 3D. So
we'll cover the 3D very heavily.
Yes,
how about that?
Yeah, how about we double down on the 3D and just tread lightly on the feminism stuff. Jordan, I don't have very good alternative titles again.
Oh, I've got terrible ones. So that's good. That'll be great. I've got two titles in one paragraph, I think.
I have three, but I'm going to try to come up with a fourth one while we talk. So let's go.
I've most certainly used this one before, but I'll lead off with it. Like father, like son.
I don't know. It's pretty boring.
Let's hear yours. You got some snappy ones, it sounds like.
No, not really. This sucks.
You say socks?
Yeah, because she picks up Brad's socks.
All right, I have a clothes related one as well. How about the laundry quandary?
Good one. Yeah, good. Hanging with my homie.
What?
Homie is the name of the logo. He says it in the beginning.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he says my name is Homie.
Wow, I did not catch that at all.
Well, now you know. The more you know.
Right.
Ding, ding, ding.
That would have helped me.
Yeah.
All right, this is my last one. This one's the 3D related one, all right? You're about to enter another dimension. A dimension of tools. A dimension of time. Welcome to the Tool Time Zone.
I like it, yeah.
All right.
It's
a bit wordy.
I mean, it's not as good as the one they used, but I didn't come with the fourth one, so this is it. But I think you'll like it. Fans of the show that have been listening for a long time will get this reference. And Jill became their commissar.
There is no episode that encapsulates it more. How about that?
The person that wrote that review probably hates this episode.
I was wondering if there was going to be any reviews on this one on IMDb, and there was not. So
that's too bad. That's a reference to I don't even know where. I guess it was reviews of Home Improvement that we read on IMDb a million years ago, and one person was like, "Show was good until Jill became too feminist, and there was too many female writers, and I'm a grown man that wears diapers in a basement."
And I don't know if that's still on there. Probably not.
They probably cleaned it up
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, not as bad as I thought it was going to be for us.
Yeah, we did our best. We always do. We mostly do.
I was going to say, not always. Yeah. All right. Let's open on Tool Time. What do you say?
Yeah, man. This shit is wacky. I had no idea this was coming.
No, it's such a juxtaposition between the other thing going on in this episode, too. It's kind of funny. All right, so we're pre-show. Tim has some sweet 3D glasses on, and they're going to do a 3D special on every single show that's on the station.
I think you don't have something that I have.
I know what? I don't think I ever had the logo thing that you were talking about.
Okay,
so,
all right, so let me start. Then. Okay, because it's bananas. Okay, so my Hulu version opens with a static screen. It's just basically the Tool Time backdrop, and the logo comes in and is 3D, and the logo is voiced by Tim doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Oh my gosh!
And he introduces himself as Homie, and says that, hey, this episode is going to be in 3D. Whenever you see the glasses logo come up in the bottom corner of the screen, put on your glasses and get in the 3D action. So that was that.
It sounds like you're making this up, but I guess I
Swear to
believe you.
I swear to you. Yeah, it was like Tim doing the Hans and Franz thing from SNL, like basically like, "Hi, it is me, homie," etc., etc.
That is not the voice I would have expected for him.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. I did some research on this to find out like if this was a big deal
Like
at
a
the time.
good host.
Yeah, and it was a thing that a lot of networks were doing in 1997, 1998. And ABC did it for the whole night when this episode came out because it was May sweeps, and they were trying to amp up excitement for the episode. So they did it in this, and they did it in Spin City.
Spin City. Love that show.
I don't know. Michael J. Fox is like, I don't know, is he like throwing his tie at the screen or something? Like, I don't really know what Spin City would offer from a 3D perspective. Alan Ruck is like making jokes that are so funny that someone spits at the screen, but I don't know. It's crazy.
That's about it. All right, well.
May sweeps. Shameless publicity. I read an article that was not very positive on it. It is pretty bad. It's pretty
on 3D in general, or just this episode?
The shamelessness of using it for May sweeps, I guess. Be the
Okay.
thesis statement. I don't know. May sweeps is kind of dumb. I don't think people even worry about that anymore. But
Do you want to get out of the way, like just our experience with 3D?
sure,
What we think
yeah,
about 3D in general?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I don't really enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
The only experiences that I really remember having 3D stuff is being at Disney World. They have like quite a few attractions. That's, I think, most theme parks that have those kind of indoor rides do that stuff. So there's like Muppet Vision. There was a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing that's gone. I think Universal has like the Spider-Man ride that's like that. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. It's not that exciting. You know, they do the thing where like they'll spit water at you and stuff as well, and that gets a rise out of people. But no, it's not my favorite thing in the world. And if a snake is coming at you, it's kind of scary. So I don't like that. But yeah, I can't really think of any. I'm sure when we were kids, they would have like you would maybe get a Happy Meal with like 3D glasses or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of where it would come into play outside of like a theme park attraction, but never been something that I was super drawn toward or anything like that. So
Yeah, I don't know too many people that would say they do like 3D, at least in a modern sense. I kind of remember this episode, or like the 3D gimmick being a thing on TV. Like I'm fairly certain the Drew Carey show did something similar as well. I don't know, like 3D has gone through quite a few different iterations. Like during the 80s, it was a pretty popular thing to do like horror movies in 3D. Probably one of the most famous ones would be the Friday the 13th 3D. Which I've never seen in 3D, so I can't really say if I like it or not. But from a modern perspective, like I saw Life of Pi in 3D.
Oh, really?
6 years ago. That's probably the only thing I've ever seen in 3D, and I remember it because it is the only thing I've ever seen in 3D. Yeah, I don't get a lot out of it. I think it kind of gives me a headache.
I think so too. Yeah,
and I think definitely watching the stuff without the glasses gives me a headache. So I didn't really enjoy this episode a ton.
So you just close your eyes and.
I close my eyes and listen to the dulcet sounds of Tim Allen. But no, I mean, 3D is weird. Yeah, like you said, there is the kind of modern thing is like totally immersive experiences where like they're blowing like smells in the theater and you can get wet and the seats move and stuff. I haven't done that because it sounds expensive, but probably be cool, I guess, depending. But no, 3D is weird. Not into it. It's a weird thing to. I mean, I would have liked to have watched this episode in 3D, I guess, since I had to watch it.
Yeah.
I tried.
Mine didn't have anything related to that at all on the DVD. Like,
did the logo come up in the corner during 3D sections? Really?
No,
okay.
None of that happened.
That's weird.
So.
I tried to find like I watched a video online of like someone supposedly like showing the 3D scenes, but it was just like the same thing I was seeing because I don't think you can really like record 3D scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd have to have the glasses on. It would be kind of too hard. So I couldn't really tell how good it looked, but I think the problem with 3D in most, you can always like, they have to make an effort to do the 3D stuff or to make it count. So like in this episode, they're just putting things close to the screen a bunch of times and kind of going, whoa, whoa. And that's generally like in Friday the 13th, there's like really egregious stuff where like a guy is like yo-yoing at the screen. It's just like, pretty obvious what they're doing.
It's stupid.
It's not.
That's why
organic.
it works. It works for the Muppets because they're supposed to be cheesy.
Right?
So.
Yeah, but in this, it's just like we'll talk about it, but it's not so hot.
It's pretty stupid. All right. Well, yeah, I did. That's interesting that you had a completely different episode than me. So.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hulu doing good things. Saw that A-Rod commercial again. Told me that I am the average of my 5 best friends. Had to think about that, but
I don't know what you're getting from me, if I'm even on that list.
Ask me in an hour.
All right. So from that scene, I guess then you get to open on Tool Time pre-show where they're talking about the Tool Time glasses and stuff. So they're going to be doing like Cooking with Irma and some other stuff in 3D. So it's cheesy and fun.
It's sort of meta, I would say. They talk about doing a whole night in 3D, which is what they would have been doing on ABC the same night. So
yeah, much like us, Al's not a fan of 3D. He's a big movie fan growing up, and he talks about the Sound of Music, and they imagine what that would have been in 3D. Sounds stupid. They check out the equipment. There's some special cameras there, and they're saying something like not even 3D will scare Al Borland. So Tim tests him on this, and then just kind of, as we were talking about earlier, where it's like fully immersive, Tim comes up behind him and scares him a little bit. So it's almost like a little bit like a Halloween episode.
Very little bit.
It's so scary.
The smallest bit possible.
Yeah. So that's the opening scene.
Yeah. All right. We cut to home. We see Angela for the first time.
This is where the real story starts.
Oh my gosh! I mean, the fact that they chose this episode to do 3D really
that is interesting.
Undercuts the whole feminist argument. If that's, I mean. Yeah, like, I'm sure the writer was probably not psyched to find out that this was the night they were doing the 3D stuff, because it does not mix very well, in my opinion.
Gelman was not happy.
Gelman! We're doing 3D! All right. Angela's there. She is in the process of, or has just washed Brad's clothes.
She got a stain out of his shirt.
Yeah, she's fulfilling kind of the motherly role for Brad. Mark... basically we find out she's been doing a bunch of things for Brad. Like, she is doing his laundry, cleaning his room, and Mark and Randy, they think it sounds pretty good, and Mark even wonders if Angela has a younger sister, a babe. Jill is not happy to find this out. She kind of lectures the boys and says, like, this is not, women are not around to be your servants. This is not how you should treat women. And they're just kind of like, well, I don't know, sounds pretty good to me.
And do they leave right now? And then Tim comes down?
I don't have that, but it could have been that way.
I think what happens is, like, she tries to give the lesson to the boys, and then Tim comes down.
Oh, right, okay.
And basically just does exactly what she says not to do.
He undercuts it and is like, that's no way to treat women. And then Tim's like, hey, can you, make me a burger or something? This episode is tough in a lot of ways. I don't know. I wish you were a woman to talk about this, Jordan.
Hey.
Or vice versa, so that we could have a bit more perspective, but alas, we do not. All right. Bedroom.
Maybe, did Kirsten watch this with you?
No.
Andrea watched part of it with me, so maybe.
She have a take?
She didn't really watch the full episode, but she had a short take, and we'll get to it later.
Okay. I should have Kirsten watch this episode. It's
but
weird.
She's kind of out on all things home improvement now, so.
Yeah, she's very anti. She's a fan of grunt work.
Every day she begrudgingly says something to you about this.
Every day she walks.
She's
by,
like, "You're gonna spend more time doing this home improvement crap."
She walks by the Al Borland coaster you got me and flips it off. Not true. Okay, all right. Bedroom. So, Jill wants to talk to Brad and kind of straighten this thing out. And Brad thinks he's getting the sex talk, but it's actually the socks talk.
They held for like a laugh line there, and nobody laughed. So that's pretty rough.
It's not that bad.
It's rough for Gelman. They've been more generous with other stupid jokes earlier.
The studio audience was just pissed they were doing a feminism episode. They're like, we are so out on this. We're not going
to laugh on anything.
We hate women, so we will not laugh at your jokes, Jill. Brad says, I don't want one of your feminist lectures. And it's like, Brad, you better shut up, man. This is your mom. It's bad, yeah.
Yeah, Brad really turns on, like, the crap gene in this episode. He's just, like, the worst of the worst.
Yeah, it's super crazy how, like, Brad went from being a pretty, like, chill guy to all of a sudden, like... Also, last episode, Brad was, like, into the bikini girls. I mean, I guess like you're young. I don't know. I just didn't think about Angela in the last episode. So all of a sudden
I haven't thought about Angela in like 20 episodes. So,
but all of a sudden, yeah, he's back. Well, he's using her, I guess. Jill. Well, does Brad? What happens?
Well,
next?
the hard thing about
lacking.
Brad in this scene, and really in this episode, is like he's trying to combat her arguments about saying she's doing stuff for him by saying partially true stuff, but with completely wrong intent.
Right.
Like he's saying we don't keep score and stuff like that, which is good, like a good idea to have. But he's coming from it with like a complete like selfish heart and just completely impure motives.
Yeah, because like she says like, "Do you do things for Angela?" And like he doesn't really. Like Angela just does things for him.
And he just has like a smug look on his face the whole time. Like he's just trying to get away with it.
Let's say what it is. Brad's an asshole in this episode. Let's just say what it is,
true.
Jordan. He's an a-hole.
I'm surprised he didn't throw a brick through his own window.
Also, he keeps doing this thing where he's like, "Well, that's how you and Dad are," and it's like, okay, Tim might not be perfect, but he's nowhere like he's not pulling the crap that Brad's trying to pull in this episode. And
also like every episode is not every episode, but like every other episode is the same. Like Tim does something stupid, messes up, apologizes, and makes it right.
Yeah, for sure.
Brad's just not doing any of that, so that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brad tries to turn it around on her and say, like, you're judging her for doing what she wants, which is my laundry. And that's kind of the end of the scene.
It's anti-feminist to prevent a woman from doing what she wants. Brad.
And then he drops the mic. I don't know where he got a mic, but he drops it.
And then
Jill picks it up and throws it at him.
He pulled up his shirt sleeve, and it was a tattoo that it was like the anti-smoking thing, but it was like anti-women. Like, I hate women. I don't know. It was weird. All right, so
in the garage.
Yeah,
that's where we're going next.
Yeah, take it.
Jill wants to update Tim on what happened, and Tim kind of thinks Jill is overblowing the whole situation, going a little bit too far. Tim says Brad has plenty of time to learn how to play the game, which is not what Jill wants to hear. And then he goes on to say what the game is, which is to make peace with a woman. So he's just not doing a real good job.
Tim had an opportunity to handle this in a certain way, and it took him a while to get there. But it's a TV show.
They can't do too many 3D things in this episode. So
that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they have to stretch it out a little bit.
And at this point, Homie pops up in the corner, and they put on your 3D glasses. I'm assuming they didn't do any 3D stuff during this feminism type part of the episode. I'm guessing. Can you confirm that?
I'm trying to think.
It would be a little strange, I feel like.
I don't think so. I think it's just in the Tool Time set. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. So they continue the conversation. Basically, Tim is saying, you have to pitch in to make peace with a woman. Mm-hmm. And Jill's going to start drilling into him.
Yeah.
She's not getting what she wants to hear from boys or men. Mm-hmm. And she's like, is that why you do anything around here? And he's basically trying to get the foot out of his mouth at this point.
Right, yeah.
But he is not doing that. He says, like, he helps her. He, like, is using all of these derogatory things. And then Jill says, this is about setting an example for the boys. We want to show them that you're an equal partner and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I don't know, Tim's not very excited about this, and Jill says, it needs to come from you. And I think that makes sense. Like, if she says it's not going to mean a whole lot, but
yeah,
it would mean more coming from Tim.
I think it's a big deal in the beginning because I guess he's just kind of not, he hasn't really witnessed it yet, but were he to have been upstairs and a part of the previous conversation with Brad, he probably would have got there faster because
he wasn't really around when Mark and Randy were saying what they were saying earlier. Right, yeah. So yeah, like you're saying, he's just kind of...
He's not sensing the urgency, but he'll get there, Jordan.
He will. He certainly will.
Side yard. Boys are having a catch with the baseball because it's May, baseball season. Tim wants to talk relationships with Randy and Mark. But it's kind of the same thing we've seen like 3 times already, where like he's trying to like he starts off by like saying like I want to talk about relationships, equal parts, so on and so forth, and then he kind of just like devolves into the same kind of playing the game conversation, and it's just not really connecting with the boys. Jill again like overhears the conversation and is like, continually frustrated with Tim.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. I mean, that. This episode is pretty formulaic in that we basically move from room to room.
Tim continues to screw up, and Jill overhears that.
Yeah, right. And then it escalates and it escalates and it escalates. So
Tim, you had one job.
yeah.
All right. Still outside.
Yes.
But now Jill and Tim are alone again, and she starts hitting him with a trash bag. How could you say that? Tim says they saw right through me, and then he tries to play it off, which is not good. He's just saying, honesty is my flaw, blah, blah. Would it be so bad if the boys turning out like me? He's just trying to turn it around, kind of like Brad was doing earlier, but more subtly, I suppose.
Think the men in this episode have trouble admitting that, some of they're a bit sexist in nature, and, they won't admit it. They don't respect Jill or their respective girlfriend wives quite like they should. Yeah. That's hence the defensive nature, I guess.
Except for Wilson.
Yeah,
We'll get there, though.
We'll get there, yeah.
Basically, at the end of the scene, Tim says, I can't help who I am, which is a great excuse, right?
Fart.
That's a 3D fart, by the way.
Is that a 3D fart? Did homie let me pop that on. Yeah. I don't know, yeah. And then also Tim makes a bad trans joke at the end.
I forgot to write that down.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah. This episode was really tough. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time standing up. Not a lot of time, but I stand up for home improvement when I can. And this episode was not an example of being able to really do that because it's just things are dated in some ways. So that was one of those ways. So
Tim's gonna pull it out in the end, though.
He will. Yeah, he will in a satisfying way. All right, Tool time. This is where the 3D shit really hits the fan. I don't know.
Boy, does it.
It's bad. Al salutes in 3D. The whole scene, they're just doing a ton. They have a 3D camera, and basically everything is just a matter of getting close to the camera. So
throw a frisbee, measuring tapes, drills going into the screen, all that stuff.
They're doing it with the purpose of building a picnic table in the background, but what that really amounts to is them just putting materials towards the camera. So there's a wood gag and there's a drill, and it's just But
at the end, they really build up to the last gag at the end, which is just so satisfying.
Yeah, they say also they do the Wayne's World whoa 1,000 times. I thought maybe I'd put it on mute. But yeah, they build the picnic table and they're going to have a picnic, and they open the basket, and it's a very satisfying gag.
It's a meatless sandwich, right?
Oh wow, close call, Jordan. Yeah, so basically the gag is they pull out a bun with a not dog in it, meatless. And it's very, very long, maybe 6, 7, 8 feet, and it comes out and is at the camera. Wow, that was a really close call. We almost made this a not meatless episode, aka a meat episode, and that would have been a problem for our sponsors. So I'm glad you caught me on that. You're good. That's what makes you a good co-host.
I know you were so into the scene that you weren't going to be able to see ahead to that, so I just wanted to make sure that I cut it off.
We're juggling a lot here: 3D, feminism, and meatless.
Meatless.
So, yeah, it's a difficult one, but
oh man. Let's go outside.
It's a bad scene. I do not like the 3D at all.
Okay, this next scene. This is probably the only thing that, now that you talk about how this episode was in 3D, it's the only thing that maybe stood out to me as being a little bit strange.
The butterfly?
So, yeah, the butterfly. Yeah. So outside Jill is gardening, and this butterfly floats from her little gardening spot up into the screen, and they make a lot of hay about it, I guess, and it goes over to Wilson's side of the fence, and I was like, check out that butterfly. Why are they emphasizing it so much?
Yeah, it must have been 3D. It looked very computer generated for sure.
Yes. Yeah,
pretty cool though.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, did you see the cut where the butterfly talks and it's Gilbert Gottfried? Hey, Jill! What do you get your panties in a bunch for? Yeah. So. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
No, but Wilson's there.
Yeah.
So I suppose we should let him share what happened.
Let's do it, yeah.
Well, neighbor Ed, I have outdone myself. This year, my tulips are more gorgeous than ever.
They're gorgeous. What's your secret?
A very good florist. So how does your garden grow?
It's a little heavy on the manure lately. Brad thinks it's okay to have Angela do his chores for him, and Tim doesn't see anything wrong with that.
Oh, men. No matter how much ground we feminists have gained, there is still so much work left to be done.
We feminists?
Oh, Jill, I've always been a big proponent of the women's movement. You know, I spent most of the 60s with my face behind a protest sign.
Well, here I am in this whole house full of men, and I'm just disgusted with myself because I've had absolutely no impact on any of them. Do you remember that time that I gave Tim Betty Friedan's book, you know, the Feminine Mystique?
I take it he didn't like it.
He loved it. He used it to level the legs of his workbench.
Oh, sister, sister, sister.
The thing that really upsets me is to see Brad not respecting women.
Well, Jill, Brad is new in his relationships with the opposite sex. You know, I'm sure he's just testing the water.
Angela's using it to wash his clothes.
Well, I'm sure that's going to change.
So, you think there's hope?
Oh, sure I do. And the English novelist Jilly Cooper would agree with me. She said the male is a domestic animal which, when treated with firmness and kindness, can be trained to do anything.
Who trained you?
The English novelist Jilly Cooper. We had a brief fling during my semester at Oxford. You know, I never realized I was becoming enlightened until one day I found myself wearing her apron and frosting her cupcakes.
Wilson has a beautiful bouquet of tulips, which I guess they didn't do any 3D stuff with. I thought maybe they would. I don't think they really do much with that. I guess
did you see the cut where the butterfly says, "Hey, Wilson, nice tulips, fuckface." Sorry.
And they had to bleep it out, of course.
Yeah, they did, yeah. On my edit, they said frick face because of TV, you know?
But it sounded like a dub over. It wasn't
Yeah, it's
Gilbert
pretty
Gottfried's
it was
voice.
frick face, you know?
All right. Jill shares the news. Wilson says, "Oh, men," which is kind of a funny line as he is a man. He's an ardent feminist, which we're not surprised by. You know, he's into everything that is going wrong in every episode. So whether it's being able to be with the Beatles or whatever, he's done it. So I guess that's how that works in this episode as well.
Also Wilson's a very liberal guy, so like it's not a stretch to think that he would refer to himself as a feminist.
Yeah, this is not a surprise. They talk a little bit about the Feminine Mystique book that you mentioned earlier, and I guess Jill gave it to Tim to read, but he used it as kind of a...
I think he leveled something? It was like a way of leveling?
Like his workbench or something?
Yeah, or so she thought.
Stow that away, for later in this episode.
Twist coming at the end, y'all.
Brad, Wilson says Brad's just testing the water. He's new to relationships. You know, we have to remember that Brad's like, I guess, a sophomore or something.
Yeah, he just like seems older. I guess
he seems like he's 20, but
it's a fair point to be brought up by Wilson because he's quite young, but he does seem like he's like in his early 20s. He just looks very mature.
Yeah, especially against the other two kids. So Wilson says there's still lots of time to change, which was kind of the point that Tim was saying, but not with the, connotation of it being a game where whatever. Yeah. Wilson quotes a novelist who he had a fling with, and that novelist said that men are a domesticated animal. So take that.
Yep.
I don't know what to say about that exactly, but I don't know. Wilson's advice here is just wait it out. I don't know. What's his advice?
His advice is, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's bad, but just don't make it too big of a deal. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like he's sympathetic, but also is like, boys will be boys, kind of. It's sort of, or like young men will be young men.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's thinking like, how you would expect him to think this way initially, and then maybe you have to teach. I don't know. He doesn't.
It's not very good advice. If we can't, if
I don't know that he's giving
like
advice.
Ours can't figure it out, it's not very good.
Maybe he's just trying to be sympathetic. He's not trying to give advice. Sometimes the best advice is a listening ear.
Yeah, I wonder if Wilson were alive, he probably wouldn't have attended the men rally that was in Boston a couple months ago.
There was a men rally, huh?
Yeah, it was like anti-feminism, just a rally for men's rights by a bunch of people.
Right.
Wilson would not have been at that.
I would say that's true. So
All
let's
right.
go home. This is where things really start to turn.
Yeah, if Brad was behaving badly before, and he was, he dials it up to about 12 here. Basically,
Brad behaving bad.
Breaking.
That was an alternative title.
Breaking Bad. Brad behaving badly.
Breaking Brad?
Okay, Jordan. Brad comes in, and he's basically like, "Hey, make me a sandwich, Angela." No waffle fries, but he just.
This was way worse than I feel like the start of the episode. Things have just gotten worse.
I mean,
and worse.
I guess that's storytelling. You got to escalate, but like basically, he just like is like so smug and like he's like, "Make me a sandwich." Angela's like, "Okay," and he just like.
And then Tim comes in. She's like, "I'll make one for you too." No, Brad offers.
Yeah, he's
for
like, she'll
Angela.
make you a sandwich too, Dad. Anything you want. Angela, do anything. She's my girlfriend. I boss her around. And Tim finally is like, yeah, this is not
Let's
good.
go in the garage.
Yeah. He steps out there. And this is a good scene. This is some of the best Tim being a father I think we've witnessed in quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
probably shouldn't play a clip because I don't feel like doing it. But
You don't think we should play a clip?
nah, let's talk about it. I want you be Tim, I'll be Brad.
Okay. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so Tim and Brad have to talk. We find out that Tim has actually read The Feminine Mystique. I don't know if he had read it years ago or he read it as a result of Jill's recent frustration.
Maybe he got on like Spark Notes in between, now and when he talked to Jill earlier.
I'm going to believe that Tim has read it in totality. I believe in the best in Tim.
Okay.
He basically outlines a situation where Angela is doing these things because she feels like she has to be in a relationship and how that is not a good dynamic. Meanwhile, we cut inside and like Jill is trying to talk to Angela about kind of like her side of it, and like Angela is just like kind of blind to it all. She's like talking about, I don't know, like making how like she is like worried about whether Brad will like the sandwich or not, and like if she should give him fruit or if she shouldn't. Jill really is never able to connect with her, which is kind of like a weird thread. Like she just like kind of walks away. I thought it was kind of strange.
I guess it's good so if you're focused on Brad's like evolution through this episode, you want Brad to be able to make that change.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess that makes sense. One thing that really like I wrote "whoa" on my thing is in this last scene when Tim and Brad are talking to each other. He says like, "You only say that stuff since you ended up with Mom," and it's like.
I guess I cut away from that a little early, but they have a really good back and forth, and like. Yeah, Brad basically says like, well, you're only talking to me about this because like you're with Mom and like she's a feminist and like she's difficult and tough, and he's like, no man, like you don't talk about your mother or my wife that way, and like Tim really puts Brad in his place and is like basically like I think we should have played a clip for this one because like I'm not really. It's much better than how we're distilling it. But
hey, I can play the clip after.
Okay, maybe we should play the clip after. But like it's a very satisfying father-son moment that I can't really do justice. So Brad comes back in.
Yeah, Brad comes back in. He's got like a myriad of choices from Angela. So she, like you said, she didn't quite get what Jill was trying to say. And Brad said, "You don't need to make me a sandwich. I can do it on my own." She like tries to say, "No, I like doing it." He says, "No, you shouldn't do it."
Yeah.
Tim comes in. Jill catches Tim as he tries to exit the scene, and she's very happy with him. She's very happy with the way that he talked to Brad, and things have worked out. So.
And she kisses him very hard, very passionately. Yeah. So.
All right. So, do you want to play the clip now?
Sure. Throw it in there. Context.
Very smooth, Brad.
Yeah, I can see that. You did a great job filing the edges.
No, I'm talking about you and Angela. Boy, you snap your finger and she just jumps into action.
That's great, isn't it?
I don't know. Do you ever wonder why she does stuff like that?
She enjoys it.
I'm not so sure. Sometimes girls do that because they're afraid if they don't do stuff like that, men won't like them.
Where'd you hear that?
I read it. You know that book that's holding up the workbench? It's called The Feminine Mistake. It's written by Betsy Freeloader.
So now you're a feminist too?
I don't know what I am. But there's stuff in there about a relationship that makes a lot of sense. When the girl does all the work, it's not a good relationship.
Yeah, you're just saying this because you ended up marrying somebody like Mom.
Excuse me?
Well, don't get me wrong, I love Mom.
I didn't end up with Mom. I love her. I love her because she's a strong woman.
You like that she gives you a hard time?
Yeah. That's what makes it exciting. I keep trying to think of new ways to slip stuff by her. And she's always coming up with new ways to nail me. We're equal partners.
And you think that's good?
Well, I don't know. It works for me. But maybe having Angela as your sandwich girl works for you. Whole life is sandwiches. Maybe get another sandwich. Sandwich, sandwich, sandwich. Make another sandwich.
So that was what we couldn't quite articulate earlier, but as you can hear, good scene. Final scene here, Tool time. I don't know, really tacked on. I wanted to get more out of the 3D. So it's after Tool time on set. The guys are going to come pick up the 3D camera, and basically Tim just wants to have a little more fun. So he unzips his pants. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means.
I know exactly what that means.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know. There's a silly string gag and some
a
other
lot
stuff.
Of silly string. Some snakes.
Do you think that was
gun.
actually silly string, or do you think it was like a graphic?
It looked like it was actually silly string because he like misses initially, and
I
then
know,
he really
yeah, okay,
locks on. So way to go, Tim.
And there's also a Nerf gun, which made like I remember that Nerf gun, the one that had like the balls, and you would like
it's like a bazooka.
It. Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't really want a kid to have it now, but I had fun with it back then, definitely. And we roll credits fade to black on the feminine mistake, aka
Laundry quandary.
Laundry quandary. The socks, I guess.
Adam, I'll let you go first. How about a man? What did we rename the segment to?
Castle Corner.
Yeah, I guess I should change my notes. Castle's Corner. What do you think?
Oh man, what do I think? I mean,
it's like you weren't prepared for this question.
I take this podcast very seriously. I'm always prepared, but it's just complex because, like, okay, highs. I guess I'll just keep to the structure. Highs. I think I like the idea of a '90s show portraying like feminism and like Jill being a strong female character and Brad learning an important lesson and Tim definitely having that scene in the garage I think was really good. So I like that part of it. It just like didn't, the 3D stuff really undercuts it. It was
really weird.
It's such a bizarre pairing. Like they should have just built an episode. They should have just done 2 separate episodes, a 3D stupid one and then one that addresses like, because this is like, I would imagine this is like not a real common thing for a 90s show to address. It's not a super common thing for a network show to probably do now. So I just wish they would have done it in earnest and not had like stupid 3D fake hot dog, not hot dog gags, because this is a meatless episode, that kind of undercut it to just like, it's super weird. It's one of the like most tonally bizarre episodes we've probably ever covered. So I didn't like the 3D stuff at all. I did like the stuff with Brad because I think like that was, and it's also just like that's a good episode to do if like you're trying to have a sitcom about a family. Like that is a real life situation that a mother and father could find themselves in, and that's something that like young men need to learn. So I appreciated that. It was a tale of 2 different episodes. One part I liked, the other part I did not.
There you go. A tale of 2 episodes. Yeah, I mean, I echo a lot of things you said.
It'd be funny if you hated that it was a feminist episode. You're like, I love the 3D, but I hated the part about respecting women. Oh.
So stupid. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, you know, with 3 boys like this, I imagine, like you said, that this is a realistic thing that you would run into, especially in the 90s. So it's interesting to see that they tackled it like that. But yeah, the 3D stuff, obviously I didn't have the glasses stuff, so I guess that made it a little bit more confusing for me, and I didn't get like the opening scene that you had as well, so that made it more confusing as well. But yeah, it just so different. 2 different episodes, as you said. I can't really say anything else besides that. I did like, as you said, Tim and Brad in that last scene, like the acting there and seeing Brad turn around. That was interesting. I don't know. There's not. I guess we don't know what Mark and Randy think now because they weren't around to see any of this stuff. But I guess we assume they're going to pick up on it as well, or maybe we're going to get 2 more episodes. We'll see.
I don't think Mark's going to have to worry about it for quite a while.
All right, well, something like that. He's just worried about Cajun fries.
Mark is just worried about video games.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was the feminism stuff. I didn't think it was done badly. It was just a weird episode to have it on. So that's all.
All right.
All right. Let's go to Stacy's social media corner. How about that?
Perfect, Jordan. Is that what we're calling it now? Just figure out what you want to call things and stick to it, okay? All right.
Yeah, I just didn't update my notes last time. So.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It takes a village. All right, so not quite
Wait.
pull up.
Whoa. When do you get to go first on this?
You said
Since when?
When you stopped knowing what the name of the segment was, I took charge. Go ahead.
Let me just stop you right there. If you want to reach out to us, go to thehomeandpodcast.com, Twitter and Facebook at homeandpodcast. I did want to share, you can go to patreon.com/homeandpodcast if you'd like to support us monetarily for as little as $1 a month. And a shout out to Benjamin Black, a new Patreon donor over there. We're also going to be recording a new Patreon episode for October. And Adam, I must have read the poll wrong. I did a poll, taking inspiration from you, having our Patreon subscribers choose between which of these 2 shows that they like us to cover, and the choice was between Frasier and Cheers.
Yeah.
And I told you it was Frasier.
Yeah, it's Cheers.
It's Cheers. So I guess we're going to have to do that. I don't know. Is there a Halloween Cheers episode? We're going to do a Halloween Frasier episode. Okay. So we're going to try to find a Halloween Cheers episode.
Jordan, I've got to commend you again on your attention to detail. Really sharp these days.
I must have wanted to cover Frasier.
It's funny because I've never watched an episode of Frasier in my life. I've watched some Cheers episodes, but I'm happy to talk about either one. So it's gonna be fun. And thanks to the we stopped doing the Patreon stuff for a while, but we've had sort of an influx lately. So if that keeps coming, we'll start doing the episodes again. I think that's a reasonable thing.
Seems fair.
I mean, if Jordan can figure out what people want based on the polls. That's why I handle the polls on the show.
Because I can't read?
Yeah. Be nice to that delivery guy. It's not his fault he can't read.
Hip Hop Anonymous? Yeah. All right. We also have one new review. I'm going to check right now to see if it's just a 5-star review or if there's a little bit to it.
Or a 1-star review.
No, that would be bad, wouldn't it? I'm just looking to see if there's text here. That could be interesting.
It could be.
All right. Let's see. My iTunes is opening.
Burning daylight here, Lions.
We are up to 43 reviews on iTunes, so that's pretty awesome. Getting close to 50. I think that's what we were. That would be what. What do you think our overall rating is? 1 to 5 scale.
4.7.
Close. It's a 4.8.
Should be 5. Because we're the best. Super professional. Always prepared.
Always prepared. I mean, we're just authentic.
So
I think that's what we are.
It's not a written review, I take it, or are you stalling still?
Still stalling. My computer's getting pretty old.
How about I do some poll stuff and talk about social media while you're looking for that?
We'll come back.
Because dead air is,
it's almost like I can't do editing, huh?
Killing me. Oh, no, you can still edit if you want. All right.
Hold on. I have it up now.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, so it looks like it was just a regular 5-star review. We do have 1 1-star review, 1 3-star review, 4 4-star reviews, and 37 5-star reviews. So that's a pretty good mix. So nothing else to share. You don't have to come up with anything off the top of your head, but I'll let you talk about polls now.
Thanks, Jordan. You're welcome. That was really fast. Good job. I hope you keep all of that in, like I know that you will. All right, so not really Pollapalooza. So let's start with this one. Is a quilt a good gift? 16 total votes. 38% no. 63% yes. What do you think? I mean, I guess we talked about it.
I think it depends on the quilt, I guess. But how many quilts do you need?
At Dr. Headley said that, it depends on who gives you the quilt. And I guess that's fair. But
The t-shirt quilt that Jill got, not good.
I mean, like, if it's not a quilt from your grandma, like, I don't really want it, you know? And I'm talking about your grandma specifically. No, if it's not a quilt from a grandmother, like, don't give me your quilt. Right?
What if I made you a quilt?
I really don't want that from you.
There's a sewing machine right around the corner from me.
Good. Is that why you bought a house? You could have room for all your sewing machines?
Do you want me? I can turn it on right now.
I don't want you to turn it on, and I don't want a quilt.
I bought some Tim Allen fabric just for you.
Okay, I want that, yeah. If it's like a really big Tim Allen face, you can make it for me. Quilt is not a good gift unless it's from your grandmother. All right, and that's the final say on that. Second poll. Have you had Cajun fries? 16 total votes. Man, Pullapalooza. 56% no, 44% yes. You guys got to get out a little bit more because Cajun fries rock.
Where have you had Cajun fries? The same hotel in Cleveland?
Yeah, that's the Cleveland Cajun Fry Hotel. No, I don't know. I've had them like a bunch of times.
I don't really like Cajun anything, so.
Oh, yeah, I'm a heat seeker. So, all right, last poll. This is a pretty good one, I think. Who is most?
It's good when you can't
Who
even
is
finish
most
it.
likely to pay a lot for a painting only to later find out it's a fake?
Wait. Is there any context for this? Did you just think this one up?
It happens on like cartoons and TV shows a lot.
Did you watch a recent episode of that?
No, I just kept popped into my head. I don't know.
All right. You watched a Scooby-Doo or something
It's
lately?
a Scooby-Doo-esque kind of situation, yeah.
All right.
25 total votes, so the people seem to like it. Jordan,
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just trying to figure out the thought process.
0% said Randy, too smart. 12% Jill, too smart. 16% Al, 72% Tim. Here's the thing. Tim is probably the right answer, but I could see Al buying a fake.
I think this would have made a funny episode.
Yeah, definitely a good episode. I could also see Jill walking into a place thinking she knows a lot and then being kind of tricked. So I could see any one of them. Randy's not buying a fake, though.
0%. 0%. I like
Too
that.
smart.
What's this episode look like if we have a fake? Like we're doing a Tim buys a fake painting episode.
Tim is like honored at like an art gala for some reason, and there's a silent auction for a painting.
He doesn't really understand how a silent auction works.
Yeah, well, that would kind of change the episode. But
Well, no, we do it two ways. So he first does that, wins the painting,
Yeah.
and then he thinks he's got a really good deal because it's an authentic whatever.
He tries
he's
to
going to make
sell
a bunch
it.
of money.
Yeah.
And learns that it isn't.
and then he buys
so.
a bunch of Piston season tickets, but he can't pay for them because the painting wasn't real. So now he's screwed dually.
We've already done that part.
No, we just do it again. Run it back. Run it back. I like that episode.
All right. Well, at least we got part of that episode.
No, I think the whole thing. Also, Randy is writing for the paper, and the meatloaf is bad. That's a subplot. Okay.
He writes an article that's called like Picture Imperfect. Did you just say meatloaf?
Yeah.
Adam.
You eat meatloaf tonight?
Adam, it's a meatless episode.
No, so close.
You almost got to the end, you idiot.
Can you edit it out? No, keep it.
No,
It's authentic.
no.
All right, well, then I guess I have to do this dumb meatless bit next week again because it didn't make it all the way through. Oh man, we were getting paid so much by big meatless.
The PLT?
Big meatless. All right. Dang, so close. All right. Also on Twitter, at Dr. Headley. Couple of fun points for you on last week's episode. He said, in Cleveland, there is and was at the time of this episode a Tower City. Tower City for the mall for the boys wanted to go to. Would have been a good day for them. So apparently the mall I talked about in the last episode was a real place. And then last week, apparently I mentioned Steel, the Shaq movie. He said it's a DC property, not Marvel. Not a great movie.
You should know that.
Yeah, whatever, nerds. Nah, just kidding. You're cool.
Speaking of which, Adam's next podcast is going to be Comic Book Corner, I
Oh my
think.
gosh, keep me out of it. If it's like Shaq Steel, maybe, but nothing new.
We could do that.
I bowed out at Avengers 1 because it was kind of boring, so not for me. I don't have 5 hours to watch things that have no stakes. Sorry. All right, so what else? That's it. Why you always bait me with this Marvel stuff? Actually, I guess you didn't. Somebody else did. Why people always bait me with Marvel stuff?
It's just too easy, Adam.
I know.
Just too easy. All right, is that it?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, well, that's plenty. Let's go ahead and skip the question of the week this week and talk about next week's episode. It's going to be taps.
Taps, huh? Huh. All right, we're winding it down. 2 episodes left this season, and then the second, not this week, but next week's episode. Not next week's, but the week's. Season and summation is coming. Season and summation is coming soon. That's all I'm trying to say.
Beware.
Somebody brought up Marvel, and I'm seeing red. Frankly,
frazzled.
I'm like the Hulk in Marvel movies. I'm getting a little angry, you might say.
I heard that you're going to be one of the first to subscribe to Disney Plus because you're excited about all the new Marvel content.
I'm a big Taika Waititi fan, and I think his stuff is just so crazy and bizarre. It's so funny. Wow. Comedy. It's not funny enough to be considered a comedy, but people think it's funny because it's in a Marvel movie. All right. Taps. Yeah, looking forward to it. Get me out of here. I blew the meatless episode. I'm frustrated, and I gotta
Falling
go.
apart. All right. Well,
Jordan,
take us out then.
Thank you for joining me, I guess. Take care, everybody.
Take care.